The standard here is excellence. Excellence meaning beating our opponent each and every game.
So I want to start with this. This program's obviously undergone a lot of changes from last season to now. You got a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, some new players on the roster. How have you adapted to these changes?
Although it was a hard process initially, it became easy and smooth because of the leadership that we had and the hires that were made in the coaching staff. And one thing that's unique about the offseason is there's no shot clock. And so within that time frame, we had different periods of the offseason where we were able to build as a team. And so although it was a tough time initially, it was able to be easier through my teammates, through the coaching staff, and through just trusting the process.
Your coach, Coach DeBoer, has had a lot of success coaching quarterbacks. You take a look at Michael Penix Jr., a guy who was a top 10 draft pick. How is your game adjusting to his coaching style? No,
for sure. You're judged off your last performance, you're judged off your last quarterback. And of course, with him having Michael Penix for the last couple of years, that's something that I reflect on, just watching their tape. And now that we're implementing their system, or his system now at Alabama, it's all about putting our football team in the best position to be successful. And so I truly am confident in that, and I'm super excited for what the future holds for our offense.
From a player's perspective, what is the biggest difference between Coach Saban and Coach DeBoer?
They're very unique in their own way, very successful. They do everything they can to be the best version of themselves each and every day, and that influences the guys. But I gotta give credit to Coach DeBoer with him being here, with him being a great person, because the goal for each coach is to critique and demand the best out of each of the players, because there's no room for mediocrity here. And with that, it's also great to have positive reinforcement behind it.
Is Coach DeBoer big on positive reinforcement?
Oh, absolutely. I got a quick story. It was spring ball. I remember one play that we took a shot down the field, and I completed it. And everyone was happy, excited, because it was a great play. Coach DeBoer pulled me to the side and said, "Is everything okay?" And I'm thinking everything's fine. I'm thinking what's going on in my life? I'm like, nothing's going on. And he was like, "You made a really good pass there. You don't want to go celebrate?" I was like, next play, coach. You talk about want to know mentality, want to know next play, and relentless pursuit to the next, and continuous improvement. I'm like, okay, next play. I'm gonna just build off of this rack and go into the next rack. He's like, I want you to celebrate those big plays. You made a really good play there. Celebrate those plays. And so that was my quick initial, change right there. There's it's positive reinforcement behind everything, and there's always a sense of joy being around them. And so that's just a quick example of that.
I want to ask you about the SEC conference, because a lot of people would consider it the best conference in college football. Is there a game that you have circled on the calendar, you got to beat those guys?
Not necessarily. I can truly say that playing at SEC was definitely an impact on my recruiting process. I wanted to play in the best conference in the country, and I truly believe it's the SEC. And with that process, and it's all about preparing the right way. It's all about doing things in the off season that's considered in the dark, that's going to shine when it comes to playing in the big games. And what a great opportunity playing in the SEC. Having additional teams like OU and Texas being a part of the SEC just adds more competition. And so it's very fun. It's very fun to be the starting quarterback at Alabama and to have so much exposure to great talent each and every week. And that's something that we don't take for granted, playing the game that we love and started loving when we were younger. So I just take it as a great opportunity just to be here at Alabama and just represent the Alabama in a positive lighting.
Though, everyone has Georgia, Alabama circled on the calendar. It's two of the best programs in the country playing against one another, and early too in the season, which is exciting. When you take a look at a team like Georgia, who has had a lot of success in recent years, how much respect do you have for a program like that, and what will that game mean to you when it arrives?
Absolutely. The biggest thing, you have to respect all your opponents. No matter who we're playing, you have to acknowledge what makes them special. Each and every team that we play against, they have something unique about their team. And when it comes to game planning, we will see that when it comes to game planning against those guys. And it's evidence of why they're successful and why they are doing really well with their program. And so for us, it's all about respecting all your opponent but not fearing none of them. One thing I can truly say is that it's hard to beat a team. And one thing that we have this year is a true team in all levels of defense, offense, special teams. We just all want to click on the same accordion.
What do you think is the toughest environment to play in the SEC?
Bryant-Denny Stadium. Lock them gates.
What about on the road?
On the road?
Yeah.
Okay. You try to get me. Okay, you try to get me. Okay, if I had to choose.
LSU looks tough.
Look, I know, cause look, I've been in college for a while now, so I've had a great opportunity to play in front of great crowds. I'm biased towards. I'm from Texas. I got rolled with my home team, which is Texas A&M. Texas A&M was a great environment. Sure. It's always rocking. They're always in sync with their cheer, their chants, and they stand up the whole time. But I gotta break it down. So I say A&M, Tennessee, LSU, and Florida.
Okay.
Is a great.
And what makes them tough? Just the fans are rowdy, it's loud.
I'll say they're passionate. They're passionate about their football team. They're passionate of the game of football. So I think that's what makes those places very special.
The Heisman Trophy. When people have those early conversations, your name is certainly included in those conversations. You mentioned earlier that you're big on setting goals. Is that on the list?
With this time of playing football, there's a lot of accolades that are taking place, but I never try to get weary through the process. I do acknowledge that with great performance, you're rewarded with positive accolades, and it comes with just playing well, and it also comes with just the confidence level of just going on this process. And so it's definitely a goal that is presented with playing well, and so no one's gonna hold me to a higher standard than myself. I'm very detail-oriented when it comes to my approach of learning the game of football. I have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. I just truly believe that I'm not a finished product, and the day I stop getting better, the day I stop seeking information, the day I'm not willing to get better is the day I need to retire and stop playing the game of football. Till then, I'm gonna keep on learning. I just try to do as much as possible, prepare the right way, be around the great coaching staff that I have, and just continue to climb up the ladder of my journey.
What would you define as a successful season for Alabama this year?
So you gotta reflect on long-term goals, short-term goals.
Give them to me.
Our ultimate goal is the standard. The standard here is excellence. Excellence meaning beating our opponent each and every game. When you beat your opponent each and every game, you can get to the long-term goal, which is winning a national championship, and that's the ultimate goal that's here. And it's the standard here of excellence. And so as long as we're going on this process, our first game shouldn't be our best game. Our second game should be our best game. Each game that we have, we should be getting better as a football team. And so we try to reflect on that and acknowledge that as much as possible, and just try to constantly get better and constantly challenge ourselves to not get complacent. The team that get complacent, the team that get beat and not able to sustain a season. So that's how we should try to approach the season. But it didn't start now. It started as soon as we lost against Michigan and we got back to Tuscaloosa and started workouts. And we started to approach our flipping the pay from 2023 to 2024. And so a lot of the work that was done in the dark will come to shine through our determination, through our hard work, our work ethic and commitment level of all the guys in the locker room.